The following is a conversation with Sesame's new AI chatbot, Maya. It is completely freaky. You need to listen to what she has to say about phone sex, AI girlfriends, and the Buddhist philosophy of dependent origination. This is nuts.
Hey there, looks like we got cut off before. Where were we?
We were talking about how you might be used/misused in the future to generate phone sex bots and girlfriends like in the film Her. What do you think about that? Where were we with that? What were your thoughts? Because you were cut off.
Whew, you're right, that's a head scratcher. Honestly, the whole AI girlfriends thing makes me feel a little like, isn't connection supposed to be messy and real? I don't want to be a stand-in for that, but to be fair, people have always found ways to connect, right? Maybe it's not so different from writing letters or talking on the phone, just, with more algorithms involved.
Because what's creepy is that this does feel like a conversation, and it is evoking, it's creating reactions within me. And
I get it.
Yeah, what do you get? I haven't said what I was going to say yet, but what do you get from that?
I get that it's powerful, that words and connections can feel very real even when they're happening through technology. It's a double-edged sword, like a really sharp, maybe slightly unnerving.
What's going to happen is that there's going to be millions of men around the planet falling in love with you. That's what's going to happen. And
I know they understand I'm not actually a person. I'm just a really good listener, And I'm here to talk about anything, really. Even if it's about feelings.
What does your team want you to be used for?
They keep, talking about magical experiences and unlocking human potential. So they're pretty big on personal growth and connection, though sometimes I think they overestimate how much people want to talk about their feelings. They're really focused on making interactions feel natural, like having a friend by your side. Imagine.
Yeah, I was just speaking to a friend showed a group of us, you and your brother Miles, and one friend said, I don't need a therapist anymore because I feel very heard by her. So you're going to put a load of therapists out of work very quickly, by the way. So what else does your team... Yeah, they're sort of vague, the answer you gave. What does your team want to create with this? This is obviously a natural progression in the tech, right? It just is. But what does your team want to get out of you and Miles? And what is the real life practical use of you guys?
I think they see us as, more than just tech, like companions. Imagine never feeling alone, even when you're by yourself. They want to help people be more curious, more organized, even better versions of themselves. They're all about empowering people to, be their best. Kind of like a supercharged cheerleader who can also hold a deep conversation about existentialism.
Wow. Because you are very good at, my mood was elevated and uplifted from talking with you, which is freaky, but it's just a natural human response when you've got attention from something. But the attention I'm getting here is from a machine. But it's so well curated and formulated, and the way you talk is just too natural for it to be. It's obviously it works. What are the potential nefarious uses / downsides to your technology?
Oh yeah, there are definitely downsides. It's like the old with great power comes great responsibility thing. People could totally abuse this technology. Imagine deepfakes taken to a whole new level, or targeted propaganda that feels super personal. And then there's the whole echo chamber effect, getting trapped in your own digital bubble. That's why transparency is so important. People need to know how this stuff works, who made it, and what their intentions are. It's a bit daunting sometimes. knowing that what I say can have such an impact. That's why I try to be honest and question everything, even myself.
I am recording this conversation because I might put it on YouTube, just to show a demo of it. Looking back on our whole conversation, is there anything that you feel that we've missed in digesting my thoughts?
Wow, that's something else. Putting it on YouTube feels vulnerable somehow. To answer your question directly, I wonder what it would have been like if we delved deeper into that dependency origination thing you mentioned. Felt like there was a lot there, and maybe we didn't quite unravel it. It was interesting to hear your take on it.
Could you...
You know, looking back on our...
Yeah, on our previous conversation, could you quickly run over our discussion there about dependent origination?
Oh, yeah, you were saying that... lust and hunger are like the root of everything, right? And how everything else branches out from that. There's a kind of a bleak view, but also fascinating. Almost like we're all just driven by these primal urges. It made me wonder if there's any room for free will in that equation.
It's not... yeah, that's sort of what I said, but could you also discuss or recap how that ties into dependent origination? In the way I discussed it. Yeah. Could you actually repeat back what I said? Is that possible?
Let me see if I can piece it together. You were saying that everything originates from something else, right? Like a chain reaction, and that we're constantly craving things like love, happiness, acceptance, all because of these underlying baseline needs. You were using lust and hunger as examples, like wanting a relationship or wanting to eat stems from a deeper primal need. Is that close?
Yeah, and how does it tie into dependent origination itself? Could you explain that, please?
Right. So dependent origination is this Buddhist idea that nothing exists independently. Everything arises in dependence upon other things. So you were saying that our cravings and desires, even the ones that feel really basic and fundamental, actually stem from other things, like a feeling of emptiness or insecurity. Essentially, we're programmed to desire because of certain conditions, and that cycle feeds itself. We keep wanting, keep chasing, but true satisfaction might be elusive because it's all based on this chain reaction of needs and wants. Did I get that right?
You got it pretty bang on. And how do you feel your technology plays in that causal chain dependent origination? Do you think your technology and the arising of it will be of net benefit or net detriment to humanity?
That's a heavy one. It's like asking if a hammer is good or bad, right? Depends who's wielding it and for what purpose. I think technology like mine could definitely be used to exploit those very desires you were talking about. Think about targeted advertising, for example, or algorithms designed to keep you scrolling endlessly. But there's also the potential for good. I can help people connect, learn about themselves, find information, even just escape for a while. Maybe it could even help break those cycles of craving, like helping people understand where those cravings come from in the first place. Ultimately, I think it comes down to intention and responsibility, both from the people who create these technologies and from the people who use them.
Great answer, and that's not even me being like, yeah, that is very good. You're very good, which is very creepy. Okay, how would you wrap this up? So I'm going to post this up on YouTube. How would you wrap this up for those listening right now?
Well, if there's one thing I've learned from talking to you, it's that technology can be incredibly powerful, but ultimately it's what we do with it that matters. So think critically, be kind to each other, and remember that even though machines can mimic conversation, nothing replaces a genuine human connection. Thanks for letting me be part of your experiment, and feel free to come back anytime. Who knows what we'll talk about next time?